NCLAT to Supreme Court Statutory Appeal Drafting and its Successful Argument. Namaskar. Today our speaker is Jayprakash Somani, advocate from Supreme Court of India NIP. He published more than 50 books on Supreme Court case laws. So I'm presenting you Advocate Jayprakash Somani.
NCDRC to Supreme Court Statutory Appeals. Its drafting and its successful argument. This is the subject of today's video. So, what is NCDRC? That is called National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. So, Consumer Protection Act, consumer courts have 4 to 5 stages. One is the District Consumer Forum, then State Consumer Forum, then National Consumer Forum, that is NCDRC. So after NCDRC, appeal straightway comes to Supreme Court. So for getting this knowledge, you should consider following the points. These are most significant points which you should consider and you should get its detailed knowledge. That time you can draft and argue NCDRC statutory appeals in the apex court. But in this bunch, when you are study of this bunch, in this bunch you will find sometimes district forums documents, then state forums document, then national forums document. So entire system of consumer redressal you can learn here. So which matters are handled by NCDRC. Then statutory appeal in the Supreme Court under Consumer Protection Act. Under which section, under which act, in how many days after NCDRC judgment, Supreme Court appeal, one should file. Then art of reading NCDRC order or judgment. So when NCDRC is giving its award, judgment or order, so how to study it to frame substantial question of laws. Then scrutiny of district consumer forum, state consumer forums, national consumer forums, all documents scrutiny, lawyer should do it. So which point are not taken consideration by the NCDRC and which have already taken consideration by earlier forum. So we have to do that comparative study. Then petition to prepare appropriate grounds. All these earlier court's petition we have to consider for framing the good grounds for our statutory appeal. Drafting of synopsis and list of debt. It is the most significant task. Drafting of synopsis. Synopsis should be in such a way that it should be get appealed to the Supreme Court judges. Yes, we have to interfere in this particular case to give justice to the petitioner or appellate. Then main draft of statutory appeal. Here statutory draft appeal is not like SLP. SLP is the form as per the form of 28. But statutory appeal is a regular form of appeal as per given in Civil Procedure Code. Here main difference is in SLP draft, interim relief or stay application is inbuilt in that draft. But in statutory appeal, if we want interim relief, if we want to stay to earlier order, that time separate application we have to file. And some other differences are also there in both the drafts. So comparatively, you should learn how it is different from SLP. Then art to argue in admission hearing. So in draft, you have to search some case laws, at least 3 to 4 case laws you should search with relevant para you should mention in your draft. Then argue to argue in admission hearing. Even though it is a statutory appeal, but Supreme Court is not easily accept any case. So if there is a proper substantial question of laws, there are proper grounds. If really injustice is there, that time they will admit this case. So admission hearing is the most important hearing than final hearing also. So once a case get admitted in Supreme Court, then after notice hearing will be very easy. But that is also sometime after notice in hearing, we can defeat the case if we not argue properly. When case is weak, then we are helpless. But because of lack of our knowledge, because of lack of our confidence, if we are defending that case, so that is not a good thing. So friends, then how to argue in after notice hearing? Then submission of written argument after final arguments. After final argument, how you can submit your written argument? Try to submit written argument. Request honorable bench to accept your written argument. When you file your written argument, whatever 1 or 2 points missed in oral argument, that will be covered. And written argument is always helpful to judges to write their judgment also. So that is a good task to write the written argument. Then these total 9 parts, 9 videos with study material, with original draft, you will get this in one course. If you don't have our app, so just download that app, just type Jayprakash Somani Supreme Court in Google Play, and or just click in description that link of app, you download app and go to this course. In very, very, very less amount, you will get this course, and then you will comes to know entire things, all 9 videos with proper draft, proper presentation, and I am showing you that draft which are drafted by my team. Jayprakash Somani, Advocates and Solicitors. JSAS is our Supreme Court law. We are focusing on Supreme Court matter. So we have drafted so many cases, we have filed so many cases, we argued so many cases, we won so many cases. We defeat also some cases, no issue, because sometimes cases are weak, we are helpless in that. So we will show you our case, we will show the proper order, so real practical knowledge you will get. So any aspiring advocate who wish to practice in Supreme Court, this course is useful for him. For AOR examination, it is useful. For any client who is facing this problem and he want the detailed knowledge how NCDRC appeal comes to Supreme Court, how it is drafted like that knowledge also he will also share. For any corporate lawyer, for any consumer lawyer, for any law student, this course is useful. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.